In today's economic reality, many Nigerians are navigating a tough, balancing act despite years of, currency depreciation, persistently high inflation and wage growth that has struggled to keep pace. There remains a strong desire to maintain a certain standard of living. But this raises a critical question. What does it really take to sustain a lifestyle in an economy like this, without undermining long-term financial stability? Is it about earning more, spending smarter, or simply adjusting expectations? And at what point does maintaining a lifestyle become financially risky? Well, joining me for this conversation, we have Mr. Kalu Aja, is an author and a personal finance advisor. Joining me via Zoom. Great to have you on the show, sir. Good morning.
Hey, Laddie, how you doing? Good to be here.
I'm doing great. Thank you. Despite my disposable income being battered due to energy prices, at this point, I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking.
There you go.
All right. So first off, I have some data showing the last 10 years. First off, let's start with the local currency. That's the Naira. The performance so far in the last 10 years, say from 2016, I would say we're trading about 250 Naira average to the dollar. That's in the last 10 years. In 2026, we've touched 1.4. We've seen, some strengthening, sub 1.4. But, 2025, more like 2024, 2023, we did touch highs of about 1.9. Analysts were bracing for 2,000 to the dollar at some point, but that has reversed so far. But 10 years, we've seen about 5 to 6x depreciation there in the Naira. Then if you're looking at maybe how much it costs to buy a car 10 years ago, if you're looking at, say, maybe a Corolla, that was about 1.5 to about 5 million, 2016. Fast forward to now, we're seeing cars from ranging about 60 million plus, brand new cars. I even saw one recently, a regular car that used to cost more than 15 million, about 100 million, at this point. And we look at wage growth. Let's look at wage growth so far. Let's talk about minimum wage. If you look at minimum wage, we started off about 18,000 that period, 2016, and now we're at 70,000, 2026. So, Mr. Kalu, definitely we keep talking about, personal finance. We have some people that still believe that, in an economy like this, you can still, maintain a particular lifestyle. But how you seeing what's played out in 10 years so far?
It's a simple story, Laddie. If you have been a mono currency earner, you've been hit very, very hard. So if you've earned Naira in 2015 till today, you've gotten poorer. If you happen to earn a different currency, even SEFA, you've managed to sort of protect that purchasing power. It's a Naira story. If you were a banker and you were earning $1 million in 2015, you could travel abroad, you could import things, you could pay for even imported fuel. But today, as you've shown the graphics, from 70,000 minimum wage, you cannot afford things that are priced at 1,400. It just doesn't work anymore. And that's why you see the pressure in Nigeria. So you have the very, very wealthy, the very wealthy that earn in foreign currency or can buy foreign currency have continued spending. But the middle class has been eroded completely. Then you have the lower class. So it's either you were middle class and you could earn foreign currency and you went to the high net worth class, or you basically fell down that ladder. It's a currency earning story. If you earn a lot in Naira, it doesn't protect you. And earning just means if you are not exposed to spending in Naira. If I can get dollars and I can spend in Naira, I'm doing better off. If I can't do a gig, I can't do Fiverr, I can't do crypto, I can't get a job abroad, I can't earn a lot of Naira to get dollars, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble.
So I guess at this point, you want to earn foreign currency. But now I'm trying to, plan for the next 10 years at this point. And hopefully, I'm seeing what's played out with the stock markets. It's been a monster rally with the NGX at this point. I'm wondering if you held Naira in your savings account from 2016 to now, you've been eroded due to inflation and currency devaluation. But if you kept your money in the market, would that have made any difference?
Yeah, well, it's just going to be a difference of how much risk did you want to take. If your money was in the stock market, you took in a lot of risk, but you then made a lot of return, right? But remember that periods go up and down. You might have lost some money during the year or during the decade. But if you simply held foreign currency, if you held $1 in your pocket, that dollar has gone up nearly 600%. So it's an issue of the risk. Just holding means that you have enough capital or enough income to hold. I mean, who can hold $1 million in a bank account and not spend it? Only if you have the wealth, the income, or the asset to do that. So it goes back to this earnings capacity, this absorber. If you don't have the assets, then you cannot hold money in a bank and not spend. Most Nigerians are earning and spending. There's no savings because they don't earn enough. But if you're doing rather good, you can take monies, invest in the stock market, buy currency, buy crypto, and hold it. And as time depreciates, your assets appreciate. And that's what you see happening. Most people in the market are not traders, but they bought a bank stock at 10 Naira. Today it's 15 Naira. They simply held. The question is, can you hold? How much income do you make to hold? And we go back to that answer, Ladi. It's really a question of currency power. You can't hold if you have no means to eat. So if you're richer and you have less consumption per income, you're doing better off, yeah.
All right, let's look at, another important purchase for an individual. If you're trying to buy a home now, definitely we see the real estate market in Nigeria is, these are prices that I didn't expect to see, at this time. If you're looking at an entry home, 2016, about 15 million to about 50, depending on the area. If you were looking at 100 million, then it was definitely, big houses, in the posh area. High-end properties were about 80 million, 100 million, Banana Island, 150. But now we're seeing high-end properties about 300 million to about 1 billion plus at this point. Adeni Jones, a detached house, going for about 700 million, at this time. So it all seems like, owning a home is really tough now. But we're seeing some, moves by the government to, bring back the mortgage markets at this point. But realistically, what do you see as the way out here?
I know in 2003, I was pricing a home in Lekki Phase 3 for about 5 million. So your numbers are just correct. Anything imported, Nigerians can't afford it. You saw the price of cement, the price of iron rods, and all that. So homes are out of reach to the average Nigerian. It's just not going to happen. The problem is this, Ladi, we have no mortgage industry in Nigeria. Even in America, homes are out of reach for poorer, for younger people, but they have a mortgage sector in America where you can buy for a 30-year mortgage and pay 5, 6, 7, 8%, right? That gets you into the home. The equity is yours. Even though you struggle to pay the mortgage or the equity, at least it's your house. And then if your income goes up, you can pay that mortgage down, own that home. You are now a quote-unquote asset millionaire. It's absent in Nigeria. If you miss out, if you don't have the bulk fund like you've shown in your graphics to get into a home and pay over 5 years like we do in Nigeria, you're not going to buy a home. It's just not possible unless you then become an executive and then you get a large company loan to then buy a home. So home purchase right now in Nigeria, if you're younger or you earn average, there's just no way you can buy a home. Mortgages won't save you because rates are 30% and they are very, very short term. What I think we did that was good was to take the pension money and ask Nigeria to say you can do 25% of your pension funds to buy a starter home. That was very, very good. And those are what we can do because it's longer term money. And if we can maybe subsidize that rate for starter homes and for starter individuals, perhaps we're onto something. But at these numbers here, there's no loan that you're going to take. At what interest to pay back 600 million naira if you work, say, even in a bank? How are you going to pay that back? So it's a big problem, Ladi. Without homes, you don't create these legal millionaires that the West is creating by simply buying a home and living in that home, and then transferring that home when you get retired. So a big hole for us there, Larry.
All right. So before I let you go, I'm a salary earner at this point. What's my plan for the next 10 years if I'm to stay afloat?
I think the key word is diversification and being nimble. Diversify your skill set. If you're a doctor, you got to go learn some other stuff. Even if it has to be medical, but online medical that you can sell an asset online. Lots of folks are doing it. You've got to diversify your skill set. You've got to diversify your currency. And even if you can diversify your geography, all this help. It gives you nimble. It makes you, you're a bit more. You can take advantage of changes that have occurred. Like I said, imagine if you're a doctor and you stayed in Nigeria from the year, say, 2000 till today. Your net worth would have gone down. But most of the doctors maybe have moved abroad or are doing stuff online or have their own private practice where they're doing some consulting. That's being nimble. That's having capital to take advantage of opportunities. Remember, we are in a nation that has tons of opportunities like this. Even with the numbers you've shown, we have tons of opportunities here. If power just improves, you're going to increase, the consumption, you're going to increase GDP, everyone starts to feel a lot better. So diversify the skills that you have. If you don't know how to do IT, go learn it. If you sit somewhere someone is doing farming, you don't know how to farm, invest in that farm or try to diversify where you make money from, diversify what you know, diversify where you can travel to. So keep an open mind so that way you are being able and you can take advantage of opportunities. You can't be static in a market and an economy like Nigeria. All right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kalu. At this point, I'm going with the mantra, we're all going to make it somehow. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Mr. Kalu Aja, also a personal finance advisor. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir.